Okay, I'm not even gonna lie, I think this video is a lot easier to make for guys because I feel like guys are aware of the agenda that's being pushed on them. It's so obvious that men are being demasculinized in movies and shows, but when it comes to girls, it's sad to say, but I feel a lot of us have been fooled. And I know nobody wants to hear that they've been lied to or deceived, but that is exactly what happened. I don't know what's caused so many of us to linger so far from our morals and our values. Maybe it was the music, maybe it was the movies, maybe it was the Kardashians that caused a lot of this. I don't know, but what I do know is that women aren't happy. Women were happier back then than they are now, which as I dove really deep into in one of our most recent videos, I'm sorry, but you would just think with all the strides that have been made in the direction that we were told was the right direction, that women would be happier, but we just aren't. And I'm sure that was the goal originally, unless this whole feminist movement has more interesting deep roots than we are aware of. Maybe we will eventually have to make a video more in depth of that. But for now, a popular question that Matt Walsh made an entire documentary centered around: what is a woman? Is a woman what we see today? Majority of women today hold the notion that men aren't crap, that posting a photo in the closest thing to being naked is liberating, that making abortion so readily available has been a step in the right direction, that sex has no real meaning or value, and that pornography is a highly respected job. We are certainly living in a time where porn, sex, and murder is justice. Suddenly the Christians are in the way of what women want to do with their own bodies. But ironically, women were all once pretty much on the same page. The fact that the early church prohibited abortion was one reason women flocked to Christianity. Today, people that oppose abortion are considered to be anti-women. But in the ancient world, people recognized that to be anti-abortion was to be pro-women. The church's opposition to abortion communicated that Christians cherished the female contribution in bringing new life into the world. So crazy that we can do that. They treated women's uniquely female role and function with respect. I mean, we even see in the story of Jesus that when he was just an infant, there was a king at the time that heard the Messiah was being born. So he ordered that all male babies under the age of 2 years old be killed, which is known today as the massacre of the innocents. And that is exactly what a baby is. The devil has convinced an entire generation of women that this is to be praised. Those that walk with the devil know that this is exactly what the devil wants. That's why child sacrifice is even a thing. That's why the harm done to children is in such high number here on this earth. And how we are living in a time right now where that specific wickedness is being brought into the light. And all of this news is coming out. When did we get to a point where women stopped valuing children, stopped desiring to be a mother, that stopped recognizing the unbelievable blessing it is to have a child, to bring life into this world? I wanted to highlight so much on abortion because I feel like it's such clear evidence that the devil has made his way into my generation and the generation to come. This is what happens when we have an entire generation that does not know God, that puts their faith in tarot cards more than they do God.
Okay, so I know learning tarot is super intimidating.
Let's practice tarot, shall we?
If you just got a new tarot deck,
Don't call him and don't text him. He's coming back and he's planning to be with you forever.
That puts their faith in witchcraft more than they do God.
Hi, I'm here from Coven of Gaia.
That puts their faith in a movement that hates men, praises the killing of unborn children, and calls porn liberating. On top of all that, we're seeing an entire generation of women that do not value sex, that feel Christians who say that sex is a bond between two people are crazy, that having sex with as many men as you are attracted to is normal, and celibacy, that's outdated. Just swipe on an app and find someone to help you feel good for one night and never talk to them again. That's considered normal. And I'm not saying this to judge or attack anybody. This is the narrative that was fed to us, when in reality, so many women have been blinded and tricked by the devil to fall into the lie that having sex with a bunch of people is not going to have any damaging effect on you. The reason you become attached to a person you've slept with is because of a chemical released in your brain that pair bonds you to that person. It's called oxytocin. It's crazy, right? It's almost like we were created by design, by a creator, by God. This is why hookup culture is so damaging to us. And the reason he left us this to tell us, hey, maybe don't go and sleep with a bunch of people. Have sex, of course, but do it in the safety net of marriage. Marriage is a gift by God because it was designed to protect you and the person that you love. On top of all that, Christian marriage was also so very unique given the way things were back in the Greek Roman culture back then. The Christian view of marriage was nothing short of revolutionary. At its core was a new form of sexual equality. To the shock of the ancient world, both sexes were held to the same moral standard. Christianity condemned promiscuity among men as well as women. It stood out as radically different because it taught that a husband actually wrongs his wife by committing adultery. Marriage was a good thing and is a good thing, and it used to be valued by so many women. But today, men ain't crap. And what effect did this have on men? All right, I guess we ain't crap. And now many men have no interest in even getting married. I see my comments and it breaks my heart. The devil has destroyed the idea of people wanting to even get married. And I'm sorry if you disagree with this, but this all comes back to the feminist movement. Another thing that women have flipped the coin on is modesty. Modesty used to be something that most women valued as well, and that's because, and I'm not gonna say what you think I'm gonna say, because men can't control themselves, which the Bible does say, don't make another brother stumble. But besides the point, regardless of that, the reason why women dress modestly is because women are worth infinitely more than the sum of their body parts. And they knew that. They knew they didn't need to show everything to get a man. Their beauty was enhanced by how they carried themselves, how they spoke, their personalities and charm, and that was more than enough for a man to desire them. This is another topic that I will go so much more in depth on in another video, another day, because I have so much to say, as you could imagine. But yes, we have strayed so far away from valuing purity in not only what we do, but what we wear. Even OnlyFans is seen as a respectable, hard-working job. If you say otherwise, you are going to be attacked. I was, so that's how I can speak for that situation. Okay, so is what we're seeing today the true form of a woman and who God created women to be? Have role models like Cardi B.
Like that, like that. That's how it happened.
Olivia Rodrigo.
So Olivia Rodrigo is promoting abortion at her concerts. She is offering free Plan B pills.
Have they done a good job in setting an example for young women, in leading women in the right direction, in the way that leads to life and life abundantly? Or have we drifted so far away from the truth? Let's see what the Bible says. Number 1, she cares more about her inner beauty more than her outer beauty. Don't be concerned about the outward beauty of fancy hairstyles, expansive jewelry, or beautiful clothes. You should clothe yourself instead with the beauty that comes from within, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is so precious to God. Your beauty does not come from you having the biggest butt on TikTok and the biggest butt in the gym. It doesn't come from you having an hourglass figure, a large chest, or hair extensions that you can't even afford. It comes from you knowing who you were created to be. And so does your happiness and your mental health. You will start to glow. You will become a light in every room that you walk in. That is what happens when you focus more on what the word says about you than what the world says about you. Another thing that makes a woman beautiful and makes her stand out in every room that she walks into is her acknowledgement of God and the reality of God. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. In a time where women use swear words and they gossip and they slander, and I'm not saying Christian women don't do this, but in a world where there are so many women that don't think before they speak, a true woman, a real woman, when she speaks, her words are wise and she gives instructions with kindness. And the last one, a true woman values life no matter how small it is, because she knows that a baby is God's creation. A baby is someone God put in a mother's womb for a purpose. She fights for the life of the unborn because she knows that that is justice, because we are called to rescue those being led away to death, to hold back those staggering towards slaughter. Okay, I think that wraps up today's video. Obviously, a lot of topics that I would love to go more in depth with on this channel. I pray this video encouraged women watching that this culture is not for you. It's actually designed to hurt you. Find out what the Bible says about you because it's in your favor. And if you made it this far, you might as well subscribe. Okay guys, I'll see you for our next video. God bless you, and I'll see you then. See ya.